I'm Claire from Created the Ottaway. I'm an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up here in the UK. Thank you for joining me and giving up some of your hard-earned craft time with me. The make that I've got today is our weekly craft along. I did a 5-minute video about how to use a 6x6 sheet to make free cards. And as it was only 5 minutes, we only got to make one of the cards, and then even then we didn't actually put it together. So this video is really connected to that. I've been asked a lot by everyone to do a longer video with all 3 makes. So that is what I am going to be doing today. We're using one sheet of 6x6. We're going to cut it in this different ways here. Oh, by the way, there's a new catalogue out. We're going to cut it in different ways to make our free cards. You can stay connected with me here if you want to screenshot that. We'll find lots of ideas and inspiration on Instagram and Facebook. And that's about it really. Should we craft? That's the important thing. So, new catalogue out. We are using some of the new beautiful paper in there that's called Thoughtful Journey. I'm just going to whiz through and just show you it. Double-sided, of course, very scenic. Is that the word I'm looking for? So it looks like little scenes on it. So look, there's something like that, something like that. It's really beautiful, and it's very watercoloured feel. So that's what I'm using for today. The other side is equally as beautiful. Look at that. I bet that doesn't show up on camera. That is absolutely stunning. Such beautiful papers as ever from Stampin' Up. So we're going to use one of those pages, the same page that I use in the 5 minutes to craft one, which is actually this one. Okay, so it looks like if you cut that up you would completely ruin the paper. No, let me show you. Okay, so all you're going to need is a 6x6 piece of card. If you designer paper, if you've got 12x12, you lucky thing, you can get 4 pieces out of a 12x12, and we're going to cut it exactly as this template shows. So do you want to screenshot that? Okay, you end up with one big square that is 3x3, 4 rectangles that are 1.5 by 3, and 4 little squares that are 1.5 by 1.5. Now there are hundreds of templates out there on YouTube or Pinterest for all sorts of things. So if you like how this technique works out for you, go and look up 6x6 or 12x12 or even A4 sheets, and somebody somewhere will have done a template that you can use. But I love the fact that you can get so much out of a 6x6. So first of all, we're going to cut our paper, and then I'm going to show you the 3 cards we're going to make. So the first thing that we need to do is cut it in half. So in half would be 3 inches. So I'm just cutting it in half. Try not to worry that you're cutting through a scenery of trees. All will become sorted at the end, I promise. Then I'm turning this one round this side to 3x3. Okay, and that gives us the top big square that we wanted. Now this one needs to be turned sideways and cut at 1.5. Okay, so it's 3 by 1.5, and if I move those down to there, can you see that is half of the paper? Ta-da! Okay, so I'm going to move that over a bit, move that down out of the way, and we're going to concentrate on our other piece. Now the top bit is going to be cut into 4, so again I turn it sideways and cut it so I've got my 3x3 piece, okay, which again seems really wrong because I've just cut off the top of the trees. Turn it sideways so that it's 1.5, like that, and then I'm going to turn both of those sideways again to 1.5, and I'm going to cut them both together. Okay, no reason for that, just saves you a bit of time. Top tip, time saving. Okay, so that's your top one. Now the bottom one is going to be cut again at 1.5, and I'm just cutting through the middle of those trees, And then if I put it all back together, so there's my squares. So I've got 4 squares, 1.5 by 1.5, 2 pieces that are 1.5 by 3. Okay, hoping you can see that. Let's move it up a little bit. This one that's 3 by 3. Okay, and then these 2 that are 1.5 by 3. So there are 4 panels, and you can see going across they do make a little staggered scene. This one actually looks quite nice like that, and then this one's just plain. It's just like a sky. Now I'm just going to check what's on the other side because I didn't do that. That's okay, so it's all blue. So some of them I might turn over and use the other side. Look at that. That's amazing. Okay, so that's there. Now, how should we even start to begin to think about this? I'm going to move that to one side. I'm going to bring in the free samples that I've got so you can get an idea. So this is one card. It's got 3 panels on it. So 3 of those bottom panels are going to be what's making this. The next card has got the square and a little panel at the bottom. And I've also, just to add some detail, I've embossed a piece of background card on there. And then this one has got 4 panels, and again it's got some detail on it. I've added some ribbon and I've layered up my card. So basically they're the 3 cards we're going to make. Or something similar. Sometimes I go off at a tangent as I'm doing it. So let's bring in, I'm using some pre-made card blanks just because it saves me a bit of time. I've already picked out the colours. So from my new, what is it called, New Thoughtful Journey. I nearly called it New Horizon. We used to have New Horizon paper as well. That was very similar to this. So this is Thoughtful Journey. So I've looked on the paper. Remember, Stampin' Up does all the hard work for you. It's listed underneath the colours that are in it. So Blackberry Bliss, Boho Blue, Cajun Craze, Calypso Coral, Lost Lagoon, Misty Moonlight, Mossy Meadow, Peach Pie, Petunia Pop, Pool Party, Pretty Peacock and Wild Wheat. Wow, that is an awful lot of colours that are within this pack. It doesn't feel like that when you look at it. So I've gone through and I've looked at 2 colours, and I've picked Night of Navy and I've picked Fresh Freesia. And you can see that straight away they are matching beautifully. So I'm going to move those back over there, and I'm just going to do my layering. So the first thing, I'm just going to put a plain piece of Night of Navy card, and I'm just sticking it straight down onto the piece, the front of my card blank, and I've just cut that to size. So for me in the UK it's 4 inches by 5 5/8. Now 5 5/8 by 4 inches, it doesn't fit the whole of the card, but what it does do is leave a really nice white border all around my navy blue. So if I fold that in half, and you can you see how it frames the navy straight away? So that's my navy piece. Now I'm not sure, I think I will put it this way round because the seams lend itself across like that. Okay, now you can join them up really close and leave a little bit of gap and add a ribbon. You can space them out, you can do all sorts. I'm going to put some Fresh Freesia behind because they are just going to frame my picture. And again, what I've done is, this is 1.5 by 3, so I've gone up 1/8. So it's 3 1/8 by 1 5/8. So literally it's just 1/8 bigger all the way round. So I'm going to stick those on and ignore the other side of the paper, even though I am loving it. Really loving it. Okay, let's see if we can do this. So that's going to go on like that. Okay, so that's my first one. And remember, I've got 3 of these to do. I think it would equally look nice if you used the navy to frame this and then put the Fresh Freesia on the back. of the card, you would just get a completely different look. So 2 looks for the price of 1. Love it. This is the 3rd piece. So that's just going on there. And it's as simple as that. So you've only used 3 pieces of your square that you've cut up, and yet already the scene stands out really beautifully. Look at that. Okay, I love it. I love it already. But what I'm going to do is raise it up a bit. So I'm going to put that colour behind. So I'm just going to put a panel of the fresh freesia behind, and I've cut that exactly to the size, and then this size is 1 1/4. So I'm going to put that on. Now again, I could put some ribbon around this, but I don't think I will on this card because the scenes are the bit I want to stand out. So just make sure I've got that across, and then I'm going to put those on. Now I could raise those up with dimensionals, which actually would look quite nice, but I'm just going to stick them on as they are. So I'm going to stick the middle one first, and I'm just putting some glue on the card. Okay, if I put glue on the panel and everywhere, there's a bit of a depth and it will make my card bend over like that, and I don't want it to. So I want it to look like it's sitting proud. I'm just going to put it like that. Oh, slidey glue. That's what Tombow does. That's why we like it. So don't slide it, Claire, just press down. Okay. So that is my middle panel. Now I'm going to do this panel. Okay, I'm just going to put some glue on there. Okay, and then that one will go on. Just making sure it's lined up as much as my eye can tell me it is. And then this panel is going to go here. And we have our first, ta-da! Look at that. Okay, so now all I need to do, I've done it again, I slid it as I put it on. Okay, all I need to do now is add a sentiment. I don't know who's going to get this card, so at the moment I'm not going to add a sentiment, but there's some really lovely ones that are quite long, so you make every day a little brighter. You could do that right across because it's such a long sentiment, and I love the 2 fonts. That would work really well. However, I do love this set as well, the Country Flowers. I'm quite loving the teapot, and that comes with dies as well. So I might put a teapot, or, oh, there's a really lovely font with Heartfelt Sympathy. That's quite a nice sympathy card because it's not too dark. It's got some colour and light in it as well. So actually, yeah, I'm not going to do that now. I'm going to decide at a later date. There is my first card done. Ta-da! Okay, let's go to the next one. So shall we do this one next? So this is the big square, and then it's the little square. Now you can see straight away there's something wrong with that. Half of the tree is there, but it doesn't quite match with that, does it? So what about if I turn it over the other side? Now that's a similar blue, so that actually ties in with that. What about on this side? No, I think I'm going to keep it with the pink or the fresh freesia on the top and this bit down the bottom. So I've got a piece of card that's 1/8 of an inch bigger. So this is 3 by 3. So this is 3 1/8 by 3 1/8. And actually, why don't we do a bit of stamping on it before we do it? Let's do that. And this one, I think this one could be stuck on. I'm not going to do any stamping on this one. So that is just going to go on there, like so. Okay, so that just goes on there. And I quite like the ribbon to go around, so I think I might put some ribbon on there. And this one is going to go on here, but I'm going to stamp. So I've got another stamp set that I really love, Encircled in Nature. And I think I'm going to do the reef. I'm going to do the reef and some trees. So let's see if we can do that very quickly. You can see this is well loved already. Look at it. That's not big enough. Ah. So now I've gone from small to ridiculous. Okay, so top tip for picking these up. So because you don't want to squish the reef, lay it down, pick it up with a block, and it's not squished at all. Okay, then I'm going to use Night of Navy and just ink that up. Okay. Is there a right way round? I don't think there is. Is that going to fit on? No. Let's not do that. See, quick change of mind. Let's just do some trees. Okay. So what we need, I've got a tree. I'm going to use that as my, because I'm going to stamp over. Let's do some trees, our own trees. So I've got Night of Navy. Let's do one big tree there. And do a background tree. And this one, I'm going to do a little bit lower. And a background tree. And I'm going to stamp it again there. So you see it gives you all those dimensions. And then I'm going to do a little one off the side here. Oh, that's nice. I like that. Okay, I'm glad I didn't go with the reef. So all that has done is just added a bit of detail and it makes that look really stormy. Love it. Okay, so now we're going to stick that onto there. So these are so good because you just go off at your own tangent. You've cut your papers in to the sizes you want and it gives you a starting point. And quite often with crafting, it's the starting that's the problem. It's really hard, isn't it? Okay, let's bring our card blank in. Now on my original one, I did some embossing on the background, so I think I'm going to use that again. So I've the same size that I used before, 5 5/8 by 4, and that is going to stick straight on, I think. Okay, so I've used a hive, a beehive embossing folder, and because of that, the glue doesn't want to go on it. Can you hear it? It's really noisy, isn't it? I'm sorry. But we want it to stick well. Okay. Okay, so that's going to go on there. Turn that round. That's going on the front of the card. Just like so. You want the same white border all the way round. Oh, that looks nice. It really does. Embossing folders we don't use enough, do we? Oh, look at that. That really pops off with those trees. In fact, actually, so much so that I think I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of that because I really want that to stand up. Okay. Not going to go too mad. Bit skimpy on my dimensionals. What are you like? Do you use them? Do you use too many? Or do you not use enough? I'm really like, I don't want to use them all up. I think it's called fear of running out, which is really never going to happen, seeing as I've got so many. Yeah, look at that. That gives it an extra dimensional, doesn't it? Now, this one is where the sentiment's going to go, but I think I will put some ribbon around as well. So I've got some of this like denim look ribbon. That's quite nice. Or I've got some white ribbon. Oh, that's a little bit sparkly, which is quite nice with the trees. Actually, why don't we use both? Should we do that? Okay, so here's a little trick that I use all the time. Okay, so I'm going to tie that round in a knot. It's like a fake bow, okay? So there's one, and then I'll tie it again, like so. Just make sure it's really tight and get that off, okay? So just make sure that's tight, and let's do this one as well. If we're going to have one, we might as well have two, okay? Just like this, and then slide that off. Okay, get some scissors. On the back of here we need some double-sided tape. Now, have we got any? Yes, we have. Okay, so the reason I put double-sided tape on the back is because it can stick to it really easily. I didn't do that right, did I? I've done it. Why did I go across? I've never gone across before. Right, now I'm stuck. I'm going to put a bit there. What I meant to do is put a bit there and there, but for some reason my menopausal brain just went ooh and forgot what it was doing. Okay, we can make this work. So one is going to go around there, like so. I'm just going to tie that there and chop that off. There's one, and then the other one is going to overlap because it's pretty. Oh, doesn't stick that side because there isn't any tape, Claire. Okay, sticking to me and not that. So that's going to go like that. All the mistakes in crafting come together in the end, don't they? No, it's definitely not going to stick. Let's put some more tape. Okay, like that. Do we need some extra tape on there? Or some extra glue on there? Okay, there. And I've just turned this into a bit of a mess. Ah! It's all right, it's on the back. We won't see it. Don't tell anyone. Okay, so suddenly it looks okay. So now I just need to stick in place and it will look beautiful. Okay, do I want white on the top? Yeah, I think I do actually. So that's going to go like that. Okay, then I'm going to cut that and cut that like that. So I've got double bow, and then all I need is a sentiment to go on the front of that. Oh, look at that glitter. That's so lovely. Okay, so that's my second card. Ta-da! Now my third and final card is with the squares. So we've got some squares here, like so. And again, they're all mixed up, different colours. We are just going to stick them on. I like the fact that one of them has got a tree on. Can you see where I cut off the tops of the tree? Just like that. I'm making sure they're all the same side. Although I think it might actually look quite nice if I mixed and matched them. Should we do that? Let's have a look. No, let's do it all the same. That's a bit too far for me. And one more to go. Like so. And then I'm going to put those on to my card blank. Like so. Oh, let's put that one that way round, that way round. So you've got the darker blues opposite. but actually I'm going to put some navy blue behind. So a navy blue piece like that. That is going to layer like that. Oh yes. But do I want some ribbon around it? Because I need to decide at this point in time. So if that was there, should I put some ribbon around this bit? I think we will. So this time I'll do the double-sided ribbon properly. So put a bit along that side, a bit along that side. I'm quite excited by these cards. I wasn't sure how they were going to come out. Now, I actually think I'm going to go with the blue because I think it's, but then the blue is on the blue. No, let's do the white. See how my brain rambles on? Does yours do the same when you're crafting? You're just talking away to, oh look, talking away to yourself. Get the best conversations then, don't you? You disagree with yourself, moan about the glue not coming out, that you've stuck the wrong bit on, but it's all good. I love being a crafter. Okay, so there's my knot. Okay, let's take these off. Take these backing pieces off. If you've stuck with me so far, thank you. I really appreciate it. Okay. If you like my videos and you like my crazy waffle, please subscribe, and I try and post an up-to-date new craft along video every Friday, if life doesn't get in the way, like for many of you. Life can be incredibly busy, but craft is therapy for me, so hence my weekly videos. I need it that often. No, not really. Okay, so that's going to go on there, like that. Oh, that's lovely. Okay, now let's space these out before I stick them. Okay, I do like this paper. Should we have the trees there or there? I think opposite there, so that it's got something to come off of. Okay, now dimensionals or not dimensionals? Not. I think not. Or maybe 2 on, 2 off. That would be a bit crazy, wouldn't it? Should we do that? Let's do that. Also, I could have stamped some more trees on this as well, but we're not going to. Okay, that's going to go there. Dimensionals on the other 2. Am I going to like it or not? So I'm just going to put 2 while I have a look. Let's go with it, just because. I'm not sure. Tell me what you think in the comments. Do you think the dimensionals were good or not? And this one. And then I just need a sentiment that's appropriate, which I'll add at a later date. But there we have. They fit. I think the dimensionals make it look a bit wonky, so I'm not sure about those. But they're done now, so there you go. There's our 3rd card. Let's have a ta-da. Okay, so I'm just going to press that down. 1, 2. Is that going to stay down? And 3. And to think, all from 1 6x6 piece of paper. Ta-da! Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little craft along. Happy crafting, everyone. Pop back and see me again soon.